Some of y'all don't need another relationship. You need healing because what you're calling love is really pain in disguise. Welcome back to That Green Vegan, where we talk about life, love, and living out loud. And today, we getting real. We're talking about love. But not the pretty version. We're talking about the kind of love that drains you, that confuses you, that keeps you stuck like Chuck, and questioning yourself and questioning your worth. Because a lot of people are not heartbroken, they are unhealed. I'm going to start off with telling you guys a story, right? A story time. And this is about a young lady, and you may know her, and it could be you. She didn't fall in love with him. She fell in love with how often he showed up. Every morning there was a "Good morning, beautiful" text. And every night there was a "You're on my mind" text. He watched her stories. He liked every post. Called her just to quote unquote check in. And to her, that felt like love. It felt consistent. It felt safe. And it felt like finally someone chose her. But what she didn't notice, what was missing from that, he never made real plans. He never asked deep questions. He never showed up when it actually mattered. When she had a bad day, he sent her a heart emoji. But on his time. When she needed support, he disappeared. But he always came back with a compliment. And she stayed because the attention felt like affection. Until one day, she stopped responding right away. She got quiet. She pulled back her energy. And just like that, he faded. No fights, no explanation, no effort to even keep her. And that's when it hit her. He wasn't in love with her. He just enjoyed having access to her. And she wasn't in love either. She was addicted to being seen because attention is loud, and attention, it feels good. But love is intentional, and love shows up, and love stays. And once she learned the difference, she stopped settling for noise and she started choosing peace. I really love that story. It's really a great analogy just for the simple fact that so many women out here just take whatever they can, right? A guy gives you just a little bit of attention, but ladies and even men, you have to realize how to separate the two. Attention is attention. Everybody gets attention. You can give a dog on the street attention, but love, being intentional, showing up when you can, that's way deeper than any kind of good morning text or tell me more response. So let's talk about why people stay in toxic love, because it's deeper than just, oh, let me leave. A lot of people don't stay because they're weak. That's a myth. They stay because something in them is still wounded. It may start from childhood. If you grew up feeling unseen, unloved, or like you had to earn love, you don't realize what healthy love is when it shows up. You recognize, this feels familiar. So chaos feels like connection, inconsistently feels like passion, and being ignored feels normal. That's where abandonment wounds come from. A lot of it has to be from your childhood. When someone pulls away, it doesn't feel like distance. It feels like rejection all over again. So instead of you walking away, you chase. You try harder. You overgive because that part of you is still trying to fix what's hurt a long time ago. And then there's low self-worth, right? If deep down you don't believe you deserve real love, you'll settle for any kind of love. You'll accept the bare minimum and call it, at least I got something. You'll make excuses for disrespect. You'll shrink yourself to keep someone around. Not because you're foolish, but because you don't see your full value yet. And let's talk about trauma bonds. Oh boy. That cycle. When they hurt you, then they love you. Then they hurt you again. That's not love. That's conditioning. Your body get addicted to the highs and the lows. The apologies feel like healing and the good moments feel earned. So you stay, hoping to get a good version when they come back. But the truth is, that version was never consistent enough to build on a real life. And finally, the fear of being alone. A lot of people rather choose familiar pain than to face the unknown of being by themselves. Because being alone forces you to sit with yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your truth. And that can feel scary. But you know what's even scarier? Is losing yourself to someone who never held on to you. Healing is realizing this. You're not hard to love. You were just giving your love to a person who didn't know how to handle it. And once you understand that, you stop chasing love and you start choosing yourself. So what do you do when you're confused about pain and love? How do you actually heal? Okay, so it starts here. And I'm going to give you 4 tools that you can use today. Today. Learn to sit with yourself. See, a lot of people, they run back to toxic relationships, not because the relationship was good, but because silence feels uncomfortable. Being alone feels unfamiliar. When you use to noise, drama, texting, chasing, crying, making up, breaking up, tearing down, peace almost feels empty at first. But healing requires you to sit alone long enough to hear yourself. Sit with your feelings without trying to escape them. Sit with the loneliness without letting it convince you to go back to what broke you. Sit with the discomfort long enough to understand what it's trying to teach you, because there's always a lesson in it. Because sometimes the very thing you're calling loneliness is really withdrawal. Withdrawal from the chaos, withdrawal from the dysfunction, withdrawal from needing someone to tell you you matter. See, learning to sit with yourself means building a relationship with you. Take yourself out. Go for walks. Cook for yourself. Listen to yourself. Ask yourself hard questions. What am I afraid of? What does being alone scare me? Why do I feel like I need someone to choose me before I choose myself? When you learn to be with yourself, you stop treating like your company is a punishment. I want to talk about validation, right? Stop chasing validation. This is a big one. A lot of people are not chasing love. They're chasing proof that they are lovable. That's why one text can make your day. One compliment can make you ignore all the red flags. One moment of attention can keep you stuck for months. How many times have you been with somebody and you've been in a horrible relationship and you just stayed in there because you're holding on to something that happened months ago? You got to get over it. If you don't know your worth Internally, you'll keep looking for people to hand it to you externally. And the problem with outside validation is the person that gives it to you can also take it away. So now your mood depends on whether they call, whether they text, whether they post you, whether they compliment you, or whether they choose you. And that is way too much power for another person. You have to start validating yourself on purpose. Tell yourself the truth every day. I am worthy when nobody claps for me. I am lovable when even nobody texts me back. I am enough even when I'm alone. Validation, that's a bonus. It's not survival. The moment you stop begging people to confirm your value is the moment you become dangerous in the best way. Because you can see clearly you're not longer easily manipulated with crumbs. No longer can people breadcrumb you. And that goes into the next thing, setting boundaries. Because healing without boundaries is almost impossible. Because you can journal all day, you can pray all day, you can cry all day, and you can have all the deep realizations. But if you keep letting people cross the same lines, you will keep opening the same wounds. Boundaries is how you protect what you're healing. And let's be clear, boundaries is not about controlling another person. They're about deciding what you will and will not allow in your life. This means saying, no, I will not allow you to disappear for days and come back like nothing happened. No, you cannot talk to me any kind of way. No, you cannot receive my softness while giving me confusion. No, you cannot have access to me because you want it. A boundary is not mean. A boundary is not bitterness. And a boundary is the boundary is self-respect with a door on it. And what you do with a door, close that sucker. And yes, some people will get upset when you set boundaries. Why? Because they benefited from you when you had none. Let them get upset. Every healed version of you is going to disappoint people who was comfortable with your lack of boundaries. Choose peace over chaos. See, a lot of people don't realize how addicted they are to emotional chaos. They say they want peace, but peace feels boring because they've tried and they are trained to associate love with struggle. You guys all heard it before, struggle love. If it's not intense, it doesn't feel real. If it's not confusing, it doesn't feel deep. If it's not painful, they think it doesn't matter. But that's your wound talking. Real love is not supposed to have consistent anxiety. Real love is not supposed to leave you confused every week. Real love is supposed to it's not supposed to make you lose sleep. It's not supposed to make you lose weight. It's not supposed to make you lose confidence. It's not supposed to make you lose yourself. Peace may feel unfamiliar at first, but unfamiliar doesn't mean it's wrong. Sometimes peace looks like no longer arguing. Sometimes peace looks like not responding. Sometimes peace look like deleting a number. Sometimes peace look like grieving what you hope for and accepting what it actually is. You have to stop. Does this excite me? And start asking, does this drain me? Does this dishonor me? And does this disturb my spirit? Peace is not boring. Peace is safe. And peace is healthy. And peace is where real life begins. I'm going to talk about therapy, journaling, and spiritual growth because healing usually takes more than one tool. Sometimes you need therapy because there are wounds buried so deep and you can't unpack them yourself. A good therapist can help you identify patterns, have you understand your triggers, and stop reliving the same pain in different bodies. Therapy helps you put language to what happened to you. And when you can name it, you can start to change it. And then there's journaling. Journaling is powerful because it slows your thoughts. It lets you be honest with your interruptions. It helps you catch patterns and it keeps missing in real time. So when you sit down with yourself, you see so much that you might not even know if you were just, walking through life. Write down what happened. Write down how it made you feel. Write down what you tolerated. Write down what you really want and write down the excuses you made. Sometimes you see it on paper, it becomes harder to romanticize what hurt you. And there is where you start your spiritual growth. Whatever it looks like for you, prayer, meditation, scripture, quiet time with God, speaking life over yourself, surrender, reflection, spiritual growth reminds you that healing is just not emotions, it's deeper than that. It grounds you, it humbles you, it strengthens you. It reminds you that you're just not someone broken. Your heart doesn't mean you get whatever hurt you in the past doesn't mean it defines your future. Spiritual growth teaches you to stop idolizing people and to start paying attention to your spirit. It teaches discernment, it teaches patience, and it teaches trust. And one of the biggest parts of healing is learning to trust yourself again. Trust your voice, your intuition, your wisdom, and your ability to walk away when something is not right. And at the end of the day, healing is not just about getting over a person. It's about becoming a person who no longer feels home in dysfunction. That's the goal. Not just to move on, but to grow so deep that what used to attract you no longer fits you. That is healing. That is freedom. And that's how you stop repeating the same cycle. So, just to recap this episode, healing is not just about getting over a person. It's about becoming someone who no longer feels comfortable in dysfunction. You are not hard to love. You were just giving love to a person that did not know how to handle it. And once you understand that, you stop chasing love and start choosing yourself. Remember, healing is when chaos no longer feels like chemistry. I hope you got something out of this particular episode. It was really inspired by so many people and so much pain. And I feel like it's really important to address matters like this because you're not, I say to people, you're not eating crazy cookies. This is really happening. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. So before I go, you know what I always say. If no one's told you they love you today, I love you. Mwah! Now go out there and be great. Love yourself. Bye.